I am not just a former Labour leader, I am a Nigerian. I like to start by...
And former governor of Edo State.
Former governor of Edo State. No condition is permanent. I was also president of NLC, sir. But the real point I want to make is to join our Senate leader in commending Mr. President for acting in a manner that we remind Nigerians that whatever discomfort they have suffered as a result of some of the bold decisions he has taken, whether in the area of withdrawal of subsidy and the obvious anticipated hardship, and of course the foreign exchange rate, which is rather an intricate policy because on the one hand, we have seen the Naira depreciating. On the other hand, the good side of it is that there are no more Nigerians who become billionaires because they are relations of the central bank, because that rent has been removed. It takes courage of a president to say, I will not benefit the way some people in the previous system had benefited. What we are now dealing with is how do the ordinary Nigeria benefit from these bold policies? By devoting substantial part of the amendment bill to deal with infrastructure. And incidentally, a lot of these infrastructures are the ones that not only create jobs, they create good paying jobs and sustainable jobs for our engineers, for our senior technicians, and even for the laborers, as well as even mama put that will emerge whatever construction work is going on. The only point made by Senator Dixon, with profound respect to him, because he's my brother, we are from the sub-south, we were both governors together, he hosted us very lavishly a couple of times when Nigeria was a bit... I think that with due respect to him, he cannot support an expenditure and question the source of funding the expenditure. So you can't support the amendment to the supplementary for infrastructure and not endorse the sound of funding it. So I'm sure even after listening, he may wish to have a rethink. Experts are in this house. And even me, I refuse to be intimidated by people who call themselves experts. Because sometimes they just deploy their private values and substitute it for expert opinion. So I commend the president for this supplementary budget. I'm particularly appreciative that he recognizes that they shouldn't go into agreement with
it's not supplementary, it's an amendment. It's an amendment to the existing budget, taking money from this head to the other one, and so on. So it's not supplementary, just to...
That's right.
To understand, yeah.
But critical to that, as the Senate leader reminded us, is that it includes providing for the personnel costs arising from minimum wage upward adjustment. Because that upward adjustment of the bottom will have implication for the top. So overall, the personnel expenditure that was in the budget originally can no longer stand in view of the pending minimum wage. And it is only right that the president understands that he can't go into agreement without the money being available, which is why the payment of the minimum wage is the most important explanation for increases in personnel costs. So I urge my colleague that, like my distinguished brother there said, this is not about rubber stamping. It's about recognizing emergency. It's about taking into account our own calendar with regards to whatever, and doing what is right, and providing legal backing for an idea that nobody can fund. Sir, lastly, each time you use your ATM machine or you make a transfer, the bank deposits you. I'm not sure which law provides for that. So if the bank devises ways and means of taking from even the poorest of the poor, if the poorest farmer among God transfer money to another poor farmer, the bank takes 50 naira commission. So if they had divided these tools to enrich the banking system, these corporate citizens. In fact, it is consistent, Mr. President, with the progressive credentials of our party, the All Progressive Congress, to take from the rich and provide for the poor. That is what will lead to stability. To allow the rich to get away with excessive wealth on the ground that we have not provided laws to enable us take the excess profit to stabilize the system is to be short-sighted. So I commend the executive, and I want to commend the leadership for facilitating that we deal with this matter expeditiously so that the president can get going and companies involved in infrastructural provision can have a renewed hope, and in the end, Nigeria can see that they lost one and they gained two. I am completely in support that this second reading be passed so that we can deal with this matter and conclude it whether this week or no later than next week. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, distinguished, for your eloquent intervention.